You know those jobs that you take on and you start to get into it and you think to yourself, why did I take this on? Well, this isn't one of them. I thought I'd do a little video on this camper van just to help anyone else that is thinking about taking on a gutter repair like this. As it is at the moment, it's half open, so we can see how it's put together, what bits I've had to make, and in what order I've done it. The first thing I had to do was remove the outer skin. That revealed this section here, and we can see on the owed part, that's what's left of it. I cut this section out as a complete bit. So you've got the inner section, another bit comes on top, and you've got the top of the window aperture. The window aperture was the first thing to go back in, and I've obviously made this, and I've made it wider than it needs to be, and there's a reason for that. When you weld these bits together, I didn't want to cut this to the length of the window aperture and then have distortion bend it out of shape, and you don't want any problems with fitting the window. And if we compare the straightness of this one with the back one, it's obvious to see that some distortion has taken place due to the plug welds that are on the top of the roof. That is why I've left this long, so then I can come back and cut it, and nothing's going to move there on because it's all welded up and can't move. I made a pattern for the corner of the aperture so I can replicate that nice and accurately. Obviously I've taken measurements from top to bottom to make sure that's right too. The window apertures went in first, then this section which I folded up. We have a look inside, we can see what that looks like. Full length. I've spot welded that to the aperture, and then I've had to plug weld the roof to the two other bits that are spot welded together. That's because I don't have a spot welder that can go through 3 bits. If I did, then I would probably choose that method. I made these intermediate bits. They've got a little gutter in there. That's probably to catch condensation or something. Here's an example of the bit I folded up with the gutter in it. And you can buy these. I didn't need to make them, but sometimes the stuff you buy isn't as accurate as you'd like, so making it is perhaps a better option in that case. The aperture again is spot welded there. The intermediate bit is plug welded there and plug welded there, and then the external roof is plug welded to those 2 bits. In welding the roof section, this is butt welded, and it's really easy to get a lot of distortion along this roof. It's particularly noticeable because it's a long roof, and the slightest bit of distortion you can see by looking down it. Now, I managed to avoid a lot of distortion by having a piece of angle iron in behind it and clamped. And this is how I set that up. The clamps have bits of plate to stop any denting of the roof, and that is the view from inside. It's pretty good straightness wise at the moment, but we can detect a little dip in the middle. There we go. See the bit in the middle there? It's just dipped in slightly, and we can raise that by getting a dolly on the inside, hammer on the outside, and that will bring it up. You could actually leave that little dip in there because you're going to have to put some filler in here anyway, and 1 or 2 mil of filler is going to bring that up to where it should be. So you could argue it might be better just to leave it rather than to bring it up, because if you bring it up, you're still going to have to put some filler on there, but the filler's going to have to be a light skim over all of it, whereas a dip, you might need less filler. this waviness here I'd like to get rid of. And there is a tool that I made that actually I haven't used yet, and I'm pretty keen to use it, that will sort that. My hydraulic shrinking stretching tool. And I've done a video on this, a complete video of how I made it. So there's no need to go into too much detail. But it's just got some hydraulic rams, push these shrinking stretching jaws together, and it works in the same way as the mechanical version, except you can get into places that you can't get to with the hand operated one. Here we go then, see if we can sort this little problem out. Well, certainly a lot better. A bit more to go there, I think. I'm pleased with that. Looks a bit better than it did before. There we go, my little lovely. You did good job. I hope that gives anyone that's attempting this some sort of idea of what's involved and what problems you're going to come across. Sorry it's not a step-by-step video, but I'll have to do that next time. I've got an update video coming on the Alfa Romeo, so stay tuned for that one. Cheerio.